I recently just bought the DJI RS3. I'll be talking about why I went with this model instead of its older brother, the RS3 Pro. So why did I go with the RS3 instead of the RS3 Pro? Why did I even get a new gimbal in the first place? I actually owned the Weebill S. Well, that might be the answer right there. The first thing you're noticing is obviously a size difference. And that was the main reason why I did upgrade, was the payload increase. That's what they're gonna be calling it. The payload for the Weebill S is 2.96 pounds, while the RS3 is 6.6 pounds. Now, these numbers are kind of arbitrary unless you actually understand how heavy your rig is. What I'd recommend for you, if you're looking into getting your first gimbal or a new gimbal and upgrading, is definitely weigh your rig that you'll probably be using on the gimbal itself. So why did I go with the RS3 instead of the RS3 Pro? The first thought is that it kind of had the Goldilocks effect for me. The RS3 Mini didn't quite have the payload that I needed. The RS3 Pro is over what it is that I'm currently running. And the RS3 was also within the budget that I was working with as well. The payload of the RS3 is 6.6 pounds, while the payload of the RS3 Pro is 10 pounds. Now, the RS3 is gonna really handle anything of the mirrorless range pretty dang well. Anything bigger than the FX3, like when you start looking at the FX6 or larger cameras like the Reds, or anything cinema related that's gonna be exceeding that size, really, you'll probably need to be going into the RS3 Pro at that point. But overall, the specs of the RS3 versus the RS3 Pro is RS3 Pro has everything juiced up just a hair. For example, the OLED screen is a little bit larger on the RS3 Pro, which didn't really bother me. It's bigger than the Weebill S's screen anyway. One of the main benefits that really attracted me to the RS3 and the RS3 Pro is the removable battery handle. You can actually have multiple of these on hand. If it ever goes out of battery, you got another one. Another big difference with the RS3 and the RS3 Pro is I believe the battery options allow the RS3 Pro to charge completely in 1.5 hours, while the RS3 is 2.5 hours. It is something to consider if you're in a situation where you need to charge and have fast turnover with your batteries. It might be worth it to you. The RS3 Pro is made out of carbon fiber, while the RS3 is made out of aluminum. So the overall weight though of the RS3 Pro is still slightly larger than the RS3, but it's still amazing that it's so dang close in weight whenever it is a larger gimbal in itself. But I am also looking for something that's a little bit more travel friendly. Most of the other features of the RS3 Pro are for rigging out the gimbal itself. For example, on the sides of the RS3, there are cold shoe mounts, and on the RS3 Pro, there are hot shoe mounts to where you can rig it out with a larger hand cage or other features as well. Both the RS3 and the RS3 Pro have a really cool feature called the auto lock system. Essentially, if you've already balanced the camera and you have it, you've been using it, you turn it off, it will automatically fold it up and lock up the different joints. And then if you turn it back on, it will unfold itself and put it right back into position. Very cool feature for run and gun shooting. So overall, which gimbal should you get? It all depends on what it is you have and where it is that you want to go. If you're wanting to get into the cinema line of cameras, then the RS3 Pro wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm definitely of the mindset, buy once, cry once. If you buy something that doesn't end up working, you're probably gonna have to buy it again later, and then you're out that money on top of the money of the first purchase that you made. So it makes sense to buy something that's gonna be high quality. Hopefully this was helpful in deciding which gimbal's right for you, and if it was helpful, definitely like and subscribe. If I got anything wrong or messed up, just let me know in the comments. And if there's any other videos that you'd be interested in learning more about, then hit me up.